In a shake-up for the rental market, millions of renters are to be given the legal right to ask to live with a pet under new reforms being introduced in Parliament today. This will mean if landlords don't want pets in their property, they will have to prove why any requests are unreasonable. Do you think it's a good idea, Katie? Look, we know we love our dogs, and yes, you've had your dog, and you'd want to obviously take your dog with you if you had to move to a rental property. Where do you stand with this?
I've got a bit of a secret story to tell. So basically, I had a dog. His name was Barkley. He sadly passed away now. And I had him right from a puppy. That's in there. He was brilliant. He got me through so many difficult times in my life. He became like part of the family.
But you said it was a Chihuahua. It looks like a big Chihuahua.
He got sold to me as a Chihuahua, and he got bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah, I think it was a bit of a cross of a Pomeranian and a Terrier, possibly.
And a Labrador.
Yeah, and a Great Dane. And anyway, so we lived in this flat, me and my best friend, and it obviously was no pets. We rented the flat in London, and we just hid the dog for 1 year from the landlord. And every time the landlord would come round, we'd have to hide the dog bowl, the dog collar. Otherwise, I'd have to explain what that was for. That's weird. That's another topic. Yeah. But eventually, we got busted because the neighbours grassed us up. Oh. Yeah. And he rang me and was like, "I've heard you've got a dog," and I was like, "Dog? A dog? Yeah, I think I have got a dog, actually." Yeah. And then we had to move out, because it wasn't an option to get rid of him, because I was so close to him. So, yeah, we moved out and then lied to the next landlord. Yeah. We got caught there.
Well, I can imagine you move into a rental property. You have goats, sheep, dogs, everything.
They let goats in. Listen, for me, obviously, as a dog lover, if I was renting, I would definitely want to go somewhere where I could bring the dog. So I think and there's just for people that are on their own, or, you know, just family pets, you know, everyone loves them. And it's just like, it's never an option when you're renting. The first thing is no pets. And, it's hard. And I think it's quite nice for people to have the company of a pet and be allowed to have a pet if they're responsible enough, you know, to do that. So for me, I think it's great. But I know Jane Moore's going to absolutely batter me down now, so I'm a little bit scared.
Yeah.
Over to Jane. Go on.
Well, no, listen, I think this is the government just talking for the sake of it. So it's like they're deflecting from the fact that they've got a housing crisis coming, that they're not dealing with it. So what they're doing is they're tinkering around the edges with all this nonsense. It's like, OK, so at the minute there's a blanket ban, but there's plenty of private renters who do have pets because they come to an agreement with the landlord. Blah, blah, blah. Now they've just flipped it and gone, right, everybody can have a pet, and now you have to argue otherwise, right? But out. Private landlords should be allowed with their own properties if they want to have pets in them or not, and be able to deal with the tenants accordingly. Otherwise, what happens is, so you with, what was his name?
Barkley.
Rest in peace. The little not Chihuahua, would be fine. That would be fine, because you're a responsible dog owner. He's, you know...
He did chew the door frame. That wasn't my fault. You know, I'm having a rethink. Dog. They do that.
I'm having a rethink.
Yeah.
But an irresponsible dog owner with two very large dogs that they don't walk enough, that are in the flat barking all day long, so everybody else in the building has to listen to it, damages the property, maybe defecates everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't defecate everywhere. I'm very house-trained, everybody.
Etc. Why should a private landlord have to deal with that?
But surely if that happens, then the landlord has a right to say you have to move out with the dog.
Yeah, but the onus should just be that you can't have a pet, but then you say to the private landlord, look, I've just got this little doggy, he'll be fine. And most private landlords will go, OK, fine.
Or maybe pay more of a deposit in case there is damage.
Yeah, or whatever. Yeah. But I really am not keen on the government telling private individuals what they have to do with the property that they have bought.
Yeah. But then, I suppose, it's like you say, it's down to that responsibility, isn't it? And like you explained there, if it was, you know, someone with two large dogs barking all day, I can completely understand that. But then it sort of tars the good people with the same brush, doesn't it? Because, you know, like myself, I would like to think I'm a responsible dog owner. I say that, however, we were in a rental property when I got my dog without checking if I could bring a dog into the flat. There is the flat, said flat and said dog. I didn't check with the landlord or indeed my then fiance, Frank, whether I could have a dog. And I got everything worked out. But I knew that if, God forbid, little Minnie, who, I mean, how could you not let that into your flat? But if she did do any kind of a mess, I would absolutely pay for it to be fixed.
Not everyone's like you.
But yeah.
And sometimes they just vacate the property, they leave it looking like a dustbin and damaged, and you can never fight, you know, whatever. But
you've been in my old flat.
The other thing this will do, it's really hard to get on the property ladder, and I guarantee you the more that they give grief to private landlords, they're just going to sell.
Yeah.
They're going to sell to first-time buyers. You know what will happen? All the people that they are providing housing to are going to come onto the state housing market, and there's not enough housing for them.
Yeah, very serious. I just wanted to talk about cute little puppies.